And welcome back everyone to the video series dedication show on MTV that has crowned its new champions. That's right, we're talking about The Challenge Season 38, Episode 19, Part 3 of these finals, the final part of the finals, and it's been a long time coming, but this season has finally wrapped up. Now that is, of course, excluding the reunion 1 and 2 that are going to be coming up very soon. But let's start off where last episode left off, and that was at the 32-hour mark where everybody woke up to a helicopter kind of flying around their campsite, and everybody dons up their challenge gear, runs after the helicopter to meet up with TJ in this field where TJ is announcing what everybody will be doing for this next portion of the finals. Basically, this next portion of the finals is a chopper drop where every pair will get into the helicopter at some point and then be given these chalk balls. And they're going to be flying over this field with a whole bunch of targets that they're going to try to hit as many targets as possible. The team that can hit the most targets will win this portion of the finals and win an advantage going into the next portion of the finals. Now, speaking of advantage, this is where the placements from last episode come into place. You have Jordan and Nisa in third place getting 15 total chalk balls. Tori and Devin in second place get 20 total chalk balls. And Bananas and Nani, for coming in first place in the last episode, they will get 25 chalk balls and get to decide the order for this challenge. Now, I will say, I really enjoyed this game. It was fun to watch as an audience member. I'm sure it was fun to play as a contestant. It was simple, it was clear, it had the helicopter element to it. And something else I really liked about it was that it's a game that you pretty much have to learn by playing. There's really no strategy that you can learn from the ground or going last place. So it didn't matter if you went first, second, or third. If you're going to be up there and you can't hit these targets, nothing really from the past stages can help you hit the targets once you're actually in the helicopter playing the game, which we will see during this challenge as we have Tori and Devin going first. Yes, they only have 20 balls, yet they were able to hit on their throws 50% of the time. So they got a total of 10 targets hit. Then we go to Jordan and Nisa, who only have 15, but they hit 6 out of 15. That means they got 40% of their balls to hit a target. And then Bananas and Nani were abysmal on this game, hitting 5 of 25, only 20% from the field. It was not good. So that means Tori and Devin win yet another stage of these finals, and that's when TJ tells them their advantage is to give the order of how everybody's going to be leaving this station and running to the next station. Tori and Devin don't give it that much thought, and they say, we're gonna go first, then Jordan and Nisa, and then Bananas and Nani. Now, this was a huge advantage in my opinion. As Tori and Devin run off, they get a full 5-minute head start over Jordan and Anissa, who get a full 5-minute head start over Bananas and Nani heading out of that station to the next station, meaning Tori and Devin get a full 10 minutes ahead of Bananas and Nani. That is big. That is big because in the first stage, after Tori and Devin won the first stage, they got to leave camp, but they only got like a 30-second head start. This is a full 10 minutes over Bananas and Nani. That was significant as they got to what TJ said would be a fork in the road. Now it is nighttime. Everybody is wearing helmets. They have lights on their helmets, on their packs. They have the GoPro cameras on as well. Everything is really dark in this corn maze except for a light up neon sign with 2 arrows, one pointing left, one pointing right. Tori and Devin get to the fork in the road first and they go left. Jordan and Anissa get their second and they go right. Bananas and Nani get their third and they go left, following Tori and Devin. Now Tori and Devin, Bananas and Nani come up to a campsite, and then Jordan and Anissa get to another campsite, a different campsite on the other side of the cornfield. Everybody at first is just standing in the dark, confused. This is what I've been waiting for this whole season. This reveal of this cornfield lighting up with the giant rig in the middle of the cornfield where TJ is talking over an intercom system with the challenge lit up. I mean, this was awesome. I've watched this episode multiple times and each time I got goosebumps. This was such a good reveal. TJ says, let the games begin. And what the players are going to be tasked to do next, they're going to have to enter the corn maze and get to TJ as soon as possible because, in quotes, their games depend on it. And their placements coming into the campsites will be the factor in which they will leave to enter the corn maze. And so Tori and Devin get to run into the maze first, then Bananas and Nany, and Jordan and Aneesa. This is something I don't think we've ever really seen on the challenge before. Tori and Devin just kept a calm, cool, collected head. They were just running. On the other hand, Nany's knee was really hurting her. So Bananas was just leaps and bounds far away from her, running as fast as he could. Nany was like trying to tell him to slow down, but Bananas was like, there's no slowing down. This is the game. He's yelling at Nany. Nany's getting pissed off. They're just going to be yelling at each other for the rest of the episode. And Jordan and Aneesa finally get to go because they're on a completely different campsite and they were in third place. They really had no shot, especially with Aneesa's hurt ankle as well. So when it comes down to it, Tori and Devin meet up with TJ in the middle of the corn maze. And that's when TJ says that because Tori and Devin got there first, they are safe from playing in the final zone of the season. Yes, that's right. There's an elimination matchup where the other two teams of Bananas and Nany, Jordan and Aneesa, will be going head to face off in Balls In yet again this season. And in this Balls In, it's a little bit different than the normal Balls In that we've grown accustomed to through the early stages of the challenge. Normally in Balls In, there is a bigger ring and you can't wrestle each other until the player with the ball enters the ring. This Balls In is different. The ring is now shrunk down and you can tackle each other outside of that ring. However, once the ball and the player get into what is deemed the end zone, which is the inner ring, then there is no more touching the person and they can just lightly put the ball into the basket. I think it's interesting. I don't know if I fully like it as much as the tried and true Balls In that we have grown accustomed to. Nany knows that to beat Aneesa, she can't go head on and get physical and try to like muscle her way to the hole. She's gonna have to use her strength and agility, albeit she does have that bad knee. Nany shows off some moves. She's able to get around Aneesa quite easily to get into the end zone. The problem with Nany is that she just can't stop. With this new Balls In rule, I think the idea was that they can tackle me. She's gonna be right behind me, gonna tackle me, instead of getting into the end zone and just stopping to put the ball in. So Nany just can't stop. So once she gets into the end zone, she's clear to just put the ball in the hole, but she tries to run and dunk it from an angle and the ball just bounces out. Nany misses twice in this manner. I mean, if we could get Shacked in a Fool segment, Nany would be plastered at number 1. Aneesa on the offensive side is getting wrestled down by Nany, who is going low. Goes after the legs of Aneesa to try to trip her up before getting into the end zone, and she is able to take Aneesa down, and the ball pops out and hits the dirt. It is 0-0 after both women get a chance on offense. Round 2, Banana scores, Jordan scores. Now we get back to Nany on offense. Nany puts on a great performance here. She gets the ball, she runs one way, then she does a spin move, then she jukes Aneesa and gets right past her into the end zone and again tries to dunk the ball and it just bounces out. Then we get to Aneesa on offense and she is able to fall into the end zone and lightly put the ball in, giving her and Jordan the lead 2-1 going into the men's heat. Bananas is able to score on his turn, and then we find out Bananas took off his long sleeve shirt because it's too much fabric. Jordan would be able to grab onto it easily and use it against him. Well, Jordan kept on his long sleeve, so Bananas was going to just hold onto it and never let him get to the end zone, and it works out for him because he takes Jordan down to the ground, and while Jordan is trying to get up, the ball falls out of his hand and hits the dirt. So now it is back up with Nany on offense. And again, Nany is putting on some great moves, maybe too good of moves, because when she does make a move on Aneesa, Aneesa just quickly seizes up, her knee buckles, and she instantly falls to the ground, giving Nany a point to take the lead 3-2. Now, Anissa is going to see this through. She's not going to give up. She asks for the ball. She tries to tie things up, going directly at Nany, but Nany says in her confessional she was going for Anissa's ankle, and Anissa drops. She is crying. She is writhing in pain. She cannot go any further. She is holding on to that ball, but her dreams of winning this challenge fall to the wayside. And that means Jordan and Anissa are eliminated, signifying that Tori and Devin and Johnny and Nany will be facing off head-to-head in the next day to see who will become challenge champions and win their portion of $1 million. Everybody goes to separate campsites for the night. For the majority of the next day, just chilling out, look at the corn, wait for TJ to call them up to play the final stage of these finals, which he does with 3 hours left of this game. I mean, they really got to just chill out for majority of the next day. And so TJ calls them up back to the middle of the ring. But before TJ tells them what game that they will be playing, he brings out Jordan and Anissa and Olivia and Horacio to watch this finals shake out. All right, now let's get to the final stage of the finals, and it's called Level Up, where it looks exactly like the elimination game that Kenny and Horacio played. However, there are different stages, but it's the same game in theory that you have to make it through all the stages, do all the tasks correctly, to then break into the middle of the tube, pull the lever, and win this game and be dubbed Challenge Champions. Now, there are 4 rooms that they're going to have to get to, and they have to complete each task one after another. And these tasks are no joke, as TJ blows the horn, and the first task is the spear-headed elimination, where there are 9 spears that you're going to have to get out of this drywall and place it into their spots to get to the next station. And Bananas and Nany are crushing this first stage. Bananas is a man determined. He is making quick work of these spears. Him and Nany get an early lead, putting the spears into the chest and then moving on to the second stage. This second stage, there are 200 cinder blocks that are painted, and you have to recreate a puzzle. It's a challenge logo in a diamond, and you have to recreate this logo using every cinder block. When it comes to this section, this is huge. This is a puzzle. This is a big puzzle. This is a complex puzzle, and it's a heavy puzzle. You do not want to make a mistake on this puzzle because it could cost you greatly, as we see with Bananas and Nany. They are yelling at each other. They don't know how to do this puzzle. They are not as organized. Now, Devin and Tori are a lot more calm demeanor. Yes, they have lost their cool with each other during these finals, but for the majority of the time, they have been able to take a step back, listen to each other, and kind of know their roles in their pairing. They were able to look at the cinder blocks while taking them out, putting them in different groupings for what was on them. So they had a system that they were going through in real time, where Bananas and Nany were just like yelling at each other. Nany was supposed to be figuring out this puzzle while Bananas was just grabbing all the cinder blocks, and they were going for speed, where yes, in a finals, you want to do tasks quickly to get them done, but you don't want to go so quickly that it burns you in the end, which this puzzle definitely did. They were disorganized, they were yelling at each other, they were distracting each other, they were just building this puzzle haphazardly, and they were missing pieces. They stuffed pieces in the middle of the puzzle while they were stacking all the cinder blocks. They didn't inspect all the pieces. They didn't put them in a systematic order. They were absolutely lost at one point with this puzzle. They never made it past part 2 of this level up, where Devin and Tori were able to construct this puzzle, get through a room full of dirt, to then get through to a room full of chains where they had to untangle all the chains and then break through the last barrier door to get to the levers and pull it down together, meaning Tori and Devin are the new challenge champions. They are challenge 38 champions, where Bananas and Nany couldn't do anything. I mean, they moved so many cinder blocks. They messed up on the first part, putting a block of blue blank tiles on the bottom instead of having the diamond start from the very bottom. So they had to take down all that, rebuild the whole front wall of the puzzle. Then they were trying to do the back part, which they realized that they had accidentally lost one of the pieces in the middle. And I mean, Nani was absolutely exhausted. Bananas said he couldn't move very much. His back was hurting him from moving all the cinder blocks. He was just dog tired. And by that time, Devin and Tori were already past the dirt portion and untangling chains. And they were just biding their time, waiting for Devin and Tori to put them out of their misery and pull the lever. I mean, you sit there and go like, man, for that to end like that this puzzle absolutely took you out. Your own hubris, your ego, your pride, you're yelling at each other, your dysfunction finally catches up with you, because at the beginning portions of these finals, they were talking about how, oh, well, we yell at each other and then we come back together and then we yell at each other and then we laugh it off. I mean, that's just us. That's how we communicate. That's just how we do things. Everybody is worried about us, but we're fine. Well, guess what? It kind of, you weren't able to be fine tonight. This was not your night, like Banana said, and I think it finally came back to get you, that the way you communicate with each other and the way you played this game kind of came back to get you, as Tori and Devin are able to win. But not only that, they want to share their wealth, so they kick back $38,000 to everybody standing there. They think back to last season, Challenge 37, when Casey and CT kicked back $100,000, 25 each to everybody who was there left standing in the finals, which Tori and Devin were there with second and third place finishes. So they wanted to repay the favor. But that's it for the Challenge 38 season. I was going to say finals, but the season, the whole season is done. Like I said, we have a few reunion episodes coming up in the next coming weeks, probably a 2-part reunion before heading into the Global Championships that's going to be premiering in Paramount Plus. But what do you think about these finals? Let me know down in the comment section below. What do you think about the chopper drop? What do you think about the corn maze race? And what do you think about the final game where it was Bananas and Nani versus Devin and Tori in Level Up? Did you like that final stage of the finals? What did you think about this whole episode in particular, as well as now that we've seen all 3 parts of this final, what would you grade this final on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 being bleh or 5 being incredible? Let me know down in the comment section below. I want to give a special shout out thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to everyone who is watching this video up to this point. I'll be back really, really soon with more Challenge 38 content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.